Kaieteur Radio.
Hello, thank you for tuning into Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Welcome to your news at noon. These are the top stories we're tracking. Residents bash EPA's decision to exempt Trini Company's cement facility from environmental impact assessment. FAIR project poses serious health risks to communities and expose misleading information in project document. Meanwhile, 4 companies bid to fix new CJIA roof. Ministry estimate is $23.2 million. And women abducted by gunmen in front of home, duct taped and robbed. Guyana's proven reserve climbs to over 10 billion barrels, says Exxon, and technician who stopped to urinate robbed of car and cash at gunpoint. Meanwhile, man stages own car theft for insurance money, and Berbice ranchers robbed a food bowl. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Guyana, please join me on the Glenn Lal Show, 99.1, 99.5 FM, Kaieteur Radio, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast of the next day at 11 a.m. just in case you missed that program.
And now for the news in detail. The intention of Trinidadian firm Vista Trading and Logistics to establish a storage and distribution facility for oil well cement at Tract A2 Felicity and Larry Souvenir is not being well received by residents on the east coast of Demerara. Specifically, residents of Felicity, Happy Acres, Larry Souvenir and Atlantic Gardens are of the firm belief that the project poses serious health risks given the hazardous chemical composition of oil well cement. They have since objected to the EPA's decision to exempt the project from being subjected to an environmental impact assessment. Siand Dutron, attorney for the appellants, stated that residents remain unaware of the screening tool used by the EPA to assess the project despite several requests for the same. Dutron also noted that the developer and its affiliates have been dishonest as they claimed Vista is a subsidiary of Tulsi Prasad Limited, a reputable Guyanese firm. In other news, during the opening of tenders yesterday at NPTAB, 4 construction firms bid to execute rehabilitation works to the existing roof at the Chedi Jagan International Airport. The procuring entity is the Ministry of Public Works. According to the engineer's estimate, this project is pegged at some $23.2 million. The expansion of the CJIA, which has been going on for years, was signed in 2011 under then-President Bharat Jagdeo and was passed through the truncated presidency of Donald Ramotar. As the country awaits the completion of the project, Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgil recently stated that the total cost will not exceed $200 million. And in other news, a 40-year-old businesswoman and a 21-year-old housewife who were conversing outside of their under-naming West Bank Demerara apartment were abducted, duct-taped, tied up and relieved of cash and valuables by 3 armed bandits. According to the police report, the 2 live in separate apartments in the same building. At 18 hours on Wednesday, while they were chatting, police said 3 armed suspects held them up at gunpoint. The women were forced into the businesswoman's apartment and bounded with zip ties while duct tape was placed across their mouths. The gunmen removed $900,000 in cash, a quantity of gold jewelry, and 2 blue top-up cell phones valued at $7,500 each from the businesswoman's bedroom. They then went over to the housewife's apartment and removed a pair of gold earrings valued at $10,000, an Amazon tablet valued $50,000, and a hand purse containing 2 silver bands, a pair of earrings, and $20,000 in cash before escaping on foot. In other news, Guyana's recoverable oil resources increased to over 10 billion oil equivalent barrels with the newest Kaieteur 1 well discovery, according to the Ministry of Natural Resources, which in a public statement yesterday noted this new recoverable resource estimate includes discoveries made in Guyana through early September 2021. As such, Guyana is now the country with the third highest oil reserves in the Latin America and Caribbean region. And as the petroleum sector continues to drive the country's economic growth, the Ministry of Natural Resources, on behalf of the government of Guyana, was pleased to announce Guyana's newest oil discovery by ESSO and partners at the Kaieteur offshore Guyana with the Stabroek Block. According to the ministry, this newest discovery has increased the Stabroek Block resource estimate to over 10 billion barrels of oil equivalent and further enhanced the development of potentials of Guyana's offshore blocks. In other news, 4 armed gunmen on Wednesday robbed a 27-year-old technician of his vehicle, a quantity of cash, and a cell phone when he stopped in Tuckville Terrace, East La Penitence, Georgetown, to urinate. According to a police report, the robbery occurred at 10:50. Police stated that the technician was driving through Tuckville Terrace when he stopped to urinate, leaving the driver's side door opened and the ignition on. The gunmen reportedly rode up on 2 motorcycles from an eastern direction. Police further stated that one of the pillion riders dismounted, pulled a handgun from his waist and held the technician at gunpoint. After demanding cash and valuables, the armed pillion rider went into the technician's white and black Toyota Fielder wagon with license plate PWW9299, which contained an iPhone X valued $100,000, one Lenovo laptop, and $17,000 cash, and drove away. The other suspects followed suit and escaped in an eastern direction at Tuckville Terrace. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We will return after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Hello, hi.
Let me show you something lit. Get your free touch now with Big. Tell them video and voice call. Discover and get, and that's not all. Cash and prices for all of us. It's exciting, it's fabulous. Translate, populate, locate, innovate, but shh. It's a secret, no need to keep it. You won't see me here again. 3, 2, 1. I'll see you in a bit. Download the app now for chat.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. 2 Berbice cattle ranchers were beaten and robbed of their haversacks and other items while on duty at German Gate, Quarantine Berbice, yesterday. It is understood that the 2 men, ages 32 and 44, were in a guard hut while at work when they were confronted by 2 suspects. During the confrontation, the suspects dealt them several lashes about their bodies and relieved them of the following items: a haversack, a second haversack valued $2,000 and $7,000, respectively, 1 torchlight and 1 food bowl. The men were also relieved of their 2 bicycles, the value of which is unknown. Meanwhile, a 27-year-old businessman has confessed to staging the theft of his car just to collect insurance benefits. The man had lodged a report with police claiming that he had lost his car after parking it with the engine left on in front of a bar so that he could collect some Chinese food. He had claimed that incident took place at Alexander Street, Kitty, Georgetown, around 21 hours on Wednesday. His false report led detectives to send out a release stating that the businessman's white SUV Volkswagen was stolen from in front of Seapal Sports Bar. The man even misled the detectives to believe that his stolen SUV contained various important legal documents, including land transport, insurance certificate, and revenue license, and $500,000. In other news, during the first half of 2021, the government spent $4.8 billion of the $8.8 billion budgeted for housing development. According to the Ministry of Finance 2021 mid-year report, The CHNPA, via its Dream Realized initiative, allocated 2,046 house lots in regions 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10, and distributed 652 land titles in the first half of the year. It is expected that over 7,000 house lots will be allocated across regions 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. The report outlined that of the $6 billion budgeted to advance infrastructure and utility works in new and existing areas, the sum of $3.4 billion was expended in the first half of 2021. In other news, the Ministry of Health has procured an oxygen plant for the COVID-19 hospital located at Lillian-Dal, Greater Georgetown. This is according to Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony. Dr. Anthony further stated that there are currently 136 people hospitalized with the virus, and of this number, 81 patients require oxygen. The minister's announcement on the government's new purchase came less than a month after he had revealed that it cost the state more than $5,000 to treat one COVID-19 patient. He explained that one reason the cost to treat a patient would go up is due to getting oxygen for them. As a result, the government has procured the oxygen plant to help cut the cost of money that is currently being spent to purchase oxygen. And in other news, 24-year-old Clarence Green, the confessed Brickdown police station arsonist, was yesterday remanded by the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where he was brought to face the 2 charges slapped on him. Green appeared before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan to face the charges of robbery under arms and for setting fire to a building belonging to the state. It was alleged that on Saturday, October 2nd, Green, in the company of another and armed with a gun, robbed 2 vendors at Starbrook Market of 2 cell phones valued a total $160,000. It was also alleged that around 11 hours 6 that same day, Green committed an act of arson by setting fire to the Brick police station. And now for a COVID-19 update followed by page 7 of the Kaieteur News. Yesterday, the Ministry of Health reported that 5 more persons who tested positive for COVID-19 have died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 821. The country's latest fatalities are that of 5 unvaccinated persons. Meanwhile, 224 new cases were recorded, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 33,175. Presently, there are 32 patients admitted into the ICU, 157 persons in institutional isolation, 3,473 in home isolation, and 7 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 28,692 persons who tested positive for the virus have recovered. Guyanese better take note of that California oil spill. After decades of experience in oil production in America, billions in technology development, and all manner of protections, oil spills are still happening and devastating the sea and landscapes. Just look at California. Guyana has little going for it. No trusted leaders, no vibrant EPA, no safety-first oil partner. Most importantly, it has no insurance protection against catastrophic oil spills. Guyanese, are you listening? Guyanese, are you taking note? With that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225